All right, I'm going to be talking about a specific topic that comes to mind quite a bit. I recently was talking to a handful of students about this, and it is temperament. Obviously, regarding dog training, regarding dogs in general. And the thing that I think a lot of people miss is that not every dog is created equal. Every single dog is an individual. This is something that I learned a long time ago. One of my first mentors would say this a lot. And, the classic thing he would say is, no two dogs are alike. And at the time, it didn't make a whole lot of an impact to me. It was like, those dogs were dogs, right? But the more I work with dogs, over the years, I realized how profound that statement actually was. To most people, a dog is just a dog. If you look at a bird, it's just a bird, right? If you look at a different animal, it's just the animal. If you look at a mouse, it's a mouse. If you see a snake, it's a snake. And so we have this temptation to look at dogs in the same manner, where we go, well, a dog is just a dog. But the changes, the differences in each individual is so vast, and it's so just so unique that it is just unbelievable how one dog can not only look but behave in an entirely different way, like almost opposite extremes than another dog. And the crazy thing is, and you sometimes, not even sometimes, like you actually see this even in the same litter. I'm not even talking about, the difference between like a Great Dane and a Chihuahua. I'm not talking about a Bloodhound and a Border Collie. I'm talking even within the same breed. And even if we bring a little bit closer and we go even within the same litter, same parents, same breed, same litter, you can see vast, vast differences between two individuals where one behaves in a completely, entirely different way than the other, just because they're so unique. And that to me has always fascinated me. Obviously the more aware I became of it, right? And this poses another problem with people who don't understand this. So people who don't understand this will look at a dog and say, I want this dog to do this, so I'm going to try to make it do this. When you don't understand temperament and you don't understand how important that is, you will say things like that. One of the most common mistakes I see with dog trainers in a particular industry, in a particular niche, is with service dogs. I see this on a fairly regular basis, and it really points to a lack of understanding when it comes to temperament, where people will get a dog and they'll just say, okay, this dog is going to be a service dog, without really understanding the dog's character, without really understanding the dog's genetic tendency or breed tendencies, and without really understanding that unique individual as an individual, as its own particular temperament. You don't see it as much in other specialties, like, for instance, police dogs or protection dogs. There seems to be a little bit more of an understanding when it comes to that type of dog, where, the trainers will do a temperament test, they'll do a selection test, and if the dog has the right drives, if it has the right character to do the job, they'll do it. If it doesn't, they'll wash the dog out. They don't just go, well, we're going to make this dog the police dog, right? It doesn't work that way. But in other specialties, like, especially with service dogs, seems to be where the biggest misunderstanding is people all the time will take donations. So they'll just grab a random dog from a rescue, and they'll go, well, this is going to be the service dog. Sometimes even without properly testing the dog. Okay, so temperament is very, very valuable when it comes to that. And even if you go, well, I'm never going to work with service dogs. I don't really need to worry about police dogs or any of that. That doesn't affect me at all. You might be wrong, because it still affects you. It might not affect you, on a personal level, but on an indirect level, it might affect your clients, right? Your average person, sometimes they want to adopt a dog, and they'll go to the rescue, to the shelter, and then from the shelter, they'll pick a random dog, right? Obviously not too random. They usually pick based on looks. And when you choose solely based on looks, there's a lot of room for error. I could pick a dog based on looks and then take that dog home, and this dog could be a nightmare. It just does not match my lifestyle. And now I have issues. The other thing can happen too, where, I choose the dog for a particular purpose. I don't do a temperament test or drive selection test, and then this dog doesn't have what it takes. All right. So your client, or even you yourself, this is something that you need to understand. If I do sports, depending on the sport that I do, if I do agility, nose work, that could cater to a lot of dogs. But if I do a specific sport where there's maybe some scent detection involved, or where there is some protection training involved, I have to have the right individual. I just cannot have any random dog and expect it to perform at a high level in a sport that is very specifically geared to a particular temperament. So the big thing to remember, this has probably been one of the most valuable lessons I've had to learn, and I had to experience and be very aware of in the dog training industry, has been understanding that each dog is an individual, and understanding temperament and how that affects what this dog is going to be selected for.